TikTok banned me again. Well, for now, just temporarily to the 15th of October. So I came here to show you guys something. Wait. There's this beautiful new feature that Instagram has. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so I hope you can see this. Is it just me or them black guys be hitting different? Unfortunately, you can see the hashtag. The hashtags are well, slightly fetishizing, but just a little bit. But wait, it gets better. Okay. It shows different assets. Yeah. That was a video where she literally said, come and fuck it up, right? So the song was like saying, okay, she said, black guys, I'm a F up your life. Emma. Oh, American slang. Okay, well, whatever. And then she was saying in the video, come and fuck up my life, you know, because they're black and she wants them to come and fuck up their lives. Her life, apparently. And then, we are not done. No, we are not done. Hello! Why don't you date your own race? I mean, as if anybody asked or if anybody cares in general. Nobody actually gives a fuck. But there's more. There's always more. Here. Everybody has an addiction. Mine just happened to be black guys. Yeah. There's still more. Hold on. Oh, okay, that one is the same fuck up. She used the same song like 700 times. I don't know. And then, of course, you know, those type of white women, they always have that type of black person, you know, they like to present, which is very much tokenizing. But yeah. Oh, can I shift this thing? Oh, no, I can't. When you love your cis, no matter what shade. That's what she said there. So, I was trying to make a TikTok of it, but TikTok won't let people be great in general. So, I thought, why not quickly look up the population of black men in America? And 2019, the number of black men in America were 44 million. So, her addiction is 44 million people just because they are black. And nobody seems to find anything wrong with that. I mean, of course, black TikTok dragged her ass back and forth, rightfully so. But, you know, there were also white people in the comments, oh, it's just a preference. Oh, she just happens to like black people. How the fuck do you like somebody only because of the color of their skin? I don't just understand. Like, you know, it's oh, hold on. Token. Why is this not working? Lila, I tried to add you, but it sent. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, I have a lot to say.
Throw it out. Immediately I saw your request, I knew it was going to be juicy. I'm all ears.
I have a lot to say because this is my issue. I'm gonna be posting a video on my Instagram so everybody can see. I'm starting to see that men of color, especially black men and white women, they're very much alike because they like to center themselves and make everything about themselves. So that's why, like, when I see those type of white women that makes video about that, they're just really looking for attention. And then you have certain black men who are anti-black. They want to gravitize and, you know, well, let me just give you an example. So, What I'm knowing, apparently in my family, my dad's son, he is anti-black. He is a white supremacist inside, and he's a slave catcher. He hates his own race. He's very anti-black. He dehumanizes and degrades black women. He
Is he black
puts,
though?
yes, he's a white supremacist inside, and he's a
Ooh.
slave catcher. Yeah,
Oh.
that's an example. So let's just use him as an example. His mother didn't really love him. His mother had issues. So apparently, I guess like it all starts in a household. The other two turn out okay, but he just turned out really messed up. He just ended up having displaced anger towards black women. And the displaced anger he has is towards his mother. So, he just ended up dating, white women, which is fine because, black
It
men,
happens.
black
Yeah.
men, black men date all the color of the rainbow. Okay. And apparently he had a certain type that he dates. So,
Like he's very much that.
yeah. So apparently his ex-wife was a white woman. I knew that was not going to last because I knew she wanted to marry a white man because she wants to be, how I knew it was not gonna last because she didn't want to have mixed kids because she wasn't ready for that, which is understandable. So she just chose to be with her own race, which is a white man, when she's living a good life. um Now his other ex-wife is a woman of color. She's Middle Eastern. They're divorced. Now he's with this new, and then ever since he's been divorced, he's just been screwing and hooking up with white women and treated him like shit. He's not capable of loving anybody because he has a lot of mental issues. And this is why I say this when it comes to women, especially white women or any woman, is that just because you end up with a black man, you basically took our problems. You didn't get the right type of man or the right type of man of color. You got the screwed up one. And what I'm noticing when it comes to certain interracial relationships, especially black men, is that a lot of them are messed up because it all starts with the household. Because the ones that type of white woman, she's only dating black men that are anti-black. She's not dating black men who respects and loves their mother and who loves their race. She's dating somebody who hates themselves. And
Yeah.
that's the one thing that I have noticed. They like to degrade and dehumanize black women and bash us because black men like him basically thinks it's okay. Have I called him on his shit? Plenty of times. I called him white supremacist. I said he's a Ku Klux Klan. I called him every name of the book. I do not like him. And to be frankly with you, I do not want my nieces and nephews near him because inside he's a white supremacist. I don't have respect for cops because of the things that they do. The fact that you're literally working for the biggest mafia in the world and the fact that you're working for a system that's anti-black. I
That's such a
don't
red flag.
I don't use the word white supremacy because ever since Angel had a post about um I think about white supremacy, let's just tell the truth. The whole system is anti-black because black people, especially mixed people, they are the ones that are being targeted. Now, for me personally, I'm just speaking from my own perspective. I'm not speaking on every black woman. I'm speaking for myself. I have nothing against interracial relationships. What I have, what I have something against is that when a black person is dating a somebody out of the race, such as a non-black person, is that they bash and dehumanize their own race to to please their non-black counterparts. That's what I
Yeah.
don't like. Now
To
I
feed
have.
into that narrative, then when I don't want to say his name, but my husband has a friend
Mhm.
that every now and then
Well,
he used to hang
let's just
around.
call him Bill. Okay, let's just use an
uh,
alias name.
let's go with Bill. Okay,
Yeah.
so Bill got a baby with a white woman. Okay, and this woman treated him horribly. Like, and that's an underestimation. Like, it's an understatement. She treated him like human trash, back
Oh
and
my
forth.
God.
He's not allowed to see the child. That woman doesn't know how to do the girl's hair and shit. The pictures I've seen of that girl's hair literally broke my heart, right? So I was like, you should take legal actions because this is your blood. You
Right.
own that child, that she has access to her blackness, because this mother, she's abusing that child. This is neglect, right? Not allowing your black child to have access to their blackness is literally abuse. He was like, well, blah, 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 was giving me excuses. Then I was like, you see, I've been telling you, most white women ain't shit. And he was like, no, 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 no. Oh my God. It ended in drama. It ended in drama because this man was defending white women to an extent. He blamed everything on the girl's mom. He said that the mom is innocent. That's the family. I was, he turned it. I was the devil at the end of the conversation because I hit my own race.
Mm-hmm.
That was how the conversation ended. So I was like, that's not the case. Men like this, that, okay, like I was speaking, or I am always speaking from the perspective of a white woman, of course. And I have no place in calling out black men or black people for their mistakes. But my problem are the white counterparts that allow this kind of thing to happen. Those counterparts that will be sitting comfortably. We have all seen them. We have all seen these TikToks where you see the Becky sitting there and the guy will be like, blah, blah, blah. That this one TikTok sound where he says, perks of being a white girl, you don't have to pay for fake hair. And
Yeah.
then the black man will be sitting there using the sound, and these stupid ass white girls, they go along and they play along because it fits into their ego, because we ain't shit. We know that. We know deep down that white people, black people don't wear white people hair. There's nothing like Berlin bundles and all these Alabama bundles. We all know that white people, our hair, nobody wants our hair. We know that. There is nothing achievable of on a white woman. The achievement, or that something that is, yeah, I will post it. Something that black women want in white women isn't being white. It's the safety and the privilege white women have in general. If I was to be asked, no black woman sits here and be like, oh, let me be like Becky. I will stay in the sun, I will look like a rotten tomato, but let me be like Becky. It doesn't happen. It's not that black women are jealous of our tan, our this, our that. It's the privilege, this always being given a pass, always being protected, always being taken,
It's
as
kind of like, if you think about it, it's like when you're in a family, you always have the good daughter, and then you have the daughter that's not like at the good daughters. So when it comes to white
exactly.
women and also women of color, they always compare them. Who has the better hair? Who has the better skin? Who has the better
Yeah,
teeth? So what they do is they pin them against each other, and they basically dehumanize and stifle their beauty. So like if we go back in history, black women were not able to wear their natural hair. They were not able to brace it because they were shunned by the European standard society. And now, since if you look back in history, like in the 70s and 60s, black women and men were embracing their natural hair.
yeah.
Now, our hair is very versatile. We can straighten it. We can do, a lot, but in reality, our hair is in our natural state, which is in the afro state. So
Yeah.
that's why I stress, especially when it comes to black women, that we should, embrace our natural hair. But unfortunately, in the workplace, our hair is discriminated and we get penalized, and they want our hair straight and they want our hair a certain way. So that's the reality that we live in this world. So, yeah.
It's funny when I see this, when I see fellow white people be like, oh, but if you don't want us to wear braids, then you stop wearing our hair. And I'm over here like, I've never in my entire 30 years on this planet seen a black woman with white women hair, because our hair doesn't, the texture of Brazilian bundles and what grows out of my, you can't compare that. That's
I,
like, it's incomparable, And on top of that, the funny thing is that even white women, the way we wear extensions, the way we wear attachments in our hair to make it look fuller, the way we manipulate our hair to make it look like the standard we created, but we don't even fit that standard. White women don't even fit the white women standard. This is the ridiculousness itself. Like, the average white woman can never fit the standards that a white woman is being held to, like globally, when you look at all these models and whatever. 95% of white women are like that far away from that kind of standard. It doesn't It doesn't match at all. So how come somebody like you now, you can, if you go and get a silk press, your hair will be what we call European hair, or it will look like, right? But there is nothing on planet Earth I would do to manipulate my hair to an extent that it would change its texture. I can manipulate it for it to be coily, right? Like if I
Mm-hmm.
use this, what's that thing called? I've forgotten the name. Like it gets very hot. You twist the hair around it.
That's
A
Bantu.
curling iron.
Is it
Curling iron?
Bantu knots you're talking about? Where
No,
you
no, no. I'm talking about is it heats up. I think it's a curling iron. Yeah. So
flexi
I twist my
rods?
hair around it, and yeah, something like that. So I can make my hair make a lot more curly, for the time I want to go out. I want to go somewhere, but it will never change its texture. It will be like this hair, just in coily forms.
So there's a technique that white women been doing to manipulate their hair to look like 3B, 3A hair texture, is that they use these thin straws, and I saw it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
and
And then they'll be using the tags, hashtags Afro hair. Don't get me started. This is ridiculous.
I think is it. I mean, it all starts where they're upbringing, who they're being raised, how they're being taught, and also society as well. So that's why, like, now, like, um I this is why, like, I'm passing on whatever I'm learning to, my future daughter and to my nieces and nephew as well. So I just think, like, for me, like, this is the thing, like, me growing up as a dark skinned Black woman, it's like my beauty was not praised. It was diminished, it was dehumanized and degraded, especially by within my Black community, and also non-Black people as well. So Black woman has it very hard in this life in society. I don't think people understand is that there are 64 million Black women missing in the US, and there are Black women missing globally around the world that has not been found till this day. And that's why we say that Black women matters and their life matters the most, because whenever they're going missing, they're not being televised as
Yeah.
Ashley with the blonde hair and blue eyes. Let's just
Yeah.
use an example. What happened to
Victimized. They are not being victimized. They are not being given that global pity or the social pity, where you get that, oh, she was innocent. Oh, what happened to her? Like when in Germany, Black women go missing. Do you know how we find out about this here?
you only
Through
find on social
Instagram.
media? I mean,
Yes. Yes.
let's just use Jelani Day was missing since August. The police didn't even bother to lodge a investigation where he is, and then his body was found in the river. I'm not gonna go into details. It's very graphic. And then we have this other white chick. I don't remember her name, but she had blonde hair. She went televised everywhere. So this
Yeah.
is
We
not.
even saw it in Germany here.
Yeah, and it happens everywhere. It's not only in Canada, US. It happens in the UK. There was an African chick who was missing, and then, the investigation was slow. But there was this white chick. They pushed the investigation. They found her killer. They found her remains, and she got justice. So there has been Black people missing in the UK. This is not new. This has been going on for many years. They're just basically making it seem like it's new, but it's not.
And then starting with the woman I showed in the beginning of the video, and
Yes, let's go back
her
to that.
whole persona, and her whole social media content is about her fetishizing Black men. And when you go to the comment section, she sees nothing wrong with what she's doing. Like she is literally justifying.
Can I tell you why she feels nothing wrong with it? Who the person who's the culprit? This is my issue. The culprit is Black men. I hate to say this, but when it comes to white women like her, certain white women like her, they get
Hmm,
praised by Black men who actually accept that behavior. Now, if we had more Black men that literally say that, ooh, they tell white women this behavior is wrong, then maybe
hmm.
maybe she will look in the mirror and change her ways. But unfortunately, right now, it's black men who are praising that behavior. When I was on TikTok, I seen white women like her who post videos like that. And there was a whole heap of comments where black men would praise her. And there was only like probably like a certain small percentage of black men who says like, this behavior is very disgusting. Yeah, it's at the end of the day, the only way a white woman like her is going to see that behavior is wrong if a cisgender black man tells her that it's wrong. But they're not going to say it's wrong because in society, they're literally brainwashed in this anti-blackness world is that white is right and that a white woman is good on her arm. That's the reason why. So there you go.
Also, the way white women are always given a pass for every bullshit is absolutely alarming. Not only things like this, because when we think this any further, and she's one day going to have children, even when they are mixed, apparently they have a white mother, then they are still being received as black by society. I don't, well, I can't say in Canada
They
and America how it
they
is
are gonna
there, but
by society.
yeah,
Yeah, you're right. They're going to be perceived white as society. But what
yeah,
a particular white woman like her who has those toxic ideology that's attached to, having an interracial relationship. Now when you see interracial relationships, everybody thinks interracial relationships are toxic, that it's not good. But not necessarily. There are some interracial relationships that are toxic because it's based on lust, it's based on fetishization, it's based on
exactly.
anti-blackness. And then you have interracial relationships like my friends. It's not built on that. It's built on love.
Mm.
You have
And
Lex.
those one have it fucking hard. Like
You
it's
have
fucking hard.
Yeah. So you have Lex Scott, who's the founder of Black Lives Matter. She's in an interracial relationship. Both of
Yeah,
her
I know her.
previous both of her ex-husbands were black, and this one here is a white man. Now when it comes to black women like Lex and also my other mutual, they tend to educate their white partners. And not to mention when they're actually dating them, if they actually come across somebody who's fetishizing them, somebody who is not willing to learn, they're not going to date them. They're going to just scrap them and go to the next one,
Mm.
whoever is willing. So
But then
that's
I wonder, I ask myself, is it truly like, of course, Lex walk is insane. The way she keeps her sanity is what I just don't understand.
and
The way
Lex
she
God, and
every morning she wakes up like all black women do,
yeah,
and keep their sanity, and on top of that, go out of their way to educate the white people in their surroundings, because sometimes one, they don't have a choice. They have to do that because they have to build a kind of like safe circle around them with people that understand. And I appreciate that work because we are not raised to understand, we are not raised to be sensitive or to even know what racism really is in society. And then I appreciate if black women take out the time and especially the energy and this capacity to educate us. But now I'm at the point where I'm like, when I met Jeff, it was 2007. So social media wasn't the way it is today. It was just like starting, Facebook was just growing and all that. But I'm wondering today, is it really like, don't get me wrong, but is it really still justifiable for white people to depend on the education of black people with
yes,
all these
they do.
sources and resources we
Yes,
have?
they do. It's because like whatever they're taught, their upbringing attached
Mm-hmm.
to the whiteness, attached to the privilege, they're thinking that I don't need to I well they don't need to research it. They don't need to do nothing. I just feel like as those that I mean, I'm gonna say this again. I'm only I'm only educating my own people, my own race, because that is my responsibility. I just feel like black
Mm.
people really need to stop educating, non-black people and tell them to look it up themselves. There
That is what I meant to say. Yeah.
there are some black people who are educating, white people who are willing to learn. But at the end of the day, if you're asking like what is Black Lives Matters, you can actually Google and look at the website and they have all the information for you.
Mm.
There's so many books that you can actually look upon. If you actually literally watch the news and take a minute to look at what's happening around the world, then you can see what's going on.
Yeah.
There's so many resources.
You know, I also think that women like this, like the woman from the beginning, I think that they always, or that one of their main reason to do this is to bash black women, or to claim that black women want to be like them, or that they are taking their men,
I know women
or
are, and I put them in their place. So apparently this one here who brought his hoe, I basically said that, first of all, you're just a black woman. I know you want to be me because you're friggin' anti-black as hell. And
exactly.
you're friggin' racist bitch and you just like hopping on the BBC. So I really don't care. I mean, at the end of the day, I know who I am and I know what I stand for. I'm only speaking for myself. But
Mm.
majority of black women don't really care because
Yeah,
we're worried about, oh, are we going to live another day? We're worrying about our children, especially our black sons. Do you think we have time to worry about a white woman when a black woman is
for
worried
real though.
about children, paying her bills, you know?
Like, you know, so many times, like when I've gotten comments that will be like, "Oh, I know you have been hated by black women," and from the bottom of my heart, genuinely, maybe I have, probably, I don't know, but not in counting, getting to 14 years now that I have been in the life, or Jeff has been in my life. Have I ever had a black woman walk up to me and be like, "I hate you because you're with a black man"? Not for once. Well, you don't know what people talk behind one's back, but at the end of the day, the dynamics of, if black people be like, "Oh, um I am uncomfortable with you being with a black man," then they don't do that because, or they don't say that. I think they don't say that because they hate you for being white. They know what you're fucking capable of. They know that that black man could be the next Emmett Till. That is why they say this kind of thing. They don't hate because they hate white people for being white, but because of what we are capable of.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think, because I've never I've never experienced a black person walking up to me and be like, "Nicole, I hate you just because you're white," you know. And that hatred towards whiteness is very justified, because whiteness is a huge problem. Whiteness is literally the root of all evil in the world, you know. So even white people should be hating whiteness if they were genuinely honest to themselves, because
Can,
whiteness is a problem even for us, because
can we
we
talk
don't even meet the
about the
standard of whiteness.
can we talk? I remember when there was a video. I'm sorry, I just want to switch gears a bit. There's the word ally.
Okay.
Remember the word ally?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I remember.
video as an example of why, you know, especially white people should not really call themselves ally, that they should call themselves decent human being.
Yeah, right.
Can we discuss that a little bit? Just a little bit.
Please.
Yeah.
Please, just a little bit. Actually, I feel like between you and me, there's nothing that needs to be said, but we don't know who's watching. So white people can never be allies. That is at the bottom line, you know?
I mean,
You know my
I
stand on this,
don't
but
really care if they're watching because I'm going to say this as a black woman. You cannot be in alliance with my own race because you benefit an
yeah,
anti-black system that is against my race. So you
yeah.
benefit the system. So I don't know what to tell you. You can be a decent human being. You can stand
Yeah.
solidarity, but you cannot be an ally in alliance. And I
It's
don't
not
know.
possible.
I don't
Even the word
accomplice.
uh, yeah,
I don't know where that came from. I actually had a
neither do I.
I'm just over it right now. I'm pretty.
Like, some people be like, "Oh, I'm not an ally. I'm an accomplice," and I'm confused.
And I'm
I'm
not,
as confused as you are.
yeah, and also I'm not affiliated or associated with Black Lives Matters. I mean, there's only one Black Lives Matters chapter that I support, which is Utah, which is a founder by Lex Scott. As for
Mm,
Black Lives Matters, I'm not associated with them. There's a reason why, because most of those chapters are led by non-Black people. It's supposed to be led by Black people. So,
yeah.
as of right now, my name is not associated with them because apparently some people think I'm associated with Black Lives Matters. No, I'm not. I have my own nonprofit of that I'm associated with that I will stamp my name in, but it will not be Black Lives Matters at this moment. I'm a Black Panther Party at heart. That's who I'm associating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, but that's just another sign altogether. Literally, I stand to be corrected, but the founder of Black Lives Matter was a white man, or was the main financer of
Well,
the organization
just
was a white man.
that I heard, it's the founders by three black women, but the funding was from a white man. The money to fund the movement.
Okay, but that would be fine then, wouldn't it? Take white people's money and run. I mean,
Exactly. So at this point right now, to me, I just feel like Black Lives Matters is a joke. I'm not, because it's like everything that they have done, nothing has not been, well, some has been achieved a little, but not a lot, in my opinion. Um, as there are other nonprofit movement organizations that are based on the essence of the Black Panther Party. I just feel
mm.
I just feel like a black movement should be solely centered within the black community, because that's what needs to be done, because I mean, got to break down the generational curses. And
I mean, it's literally in the name. Black Lives Matter. How can you have white people or non-black people run an organization that's
well,
about black people? That alone makes no sense. And I'm telling you, if a black man will wake up tomorrow morning and be like, I want to found the KKK in Germany, nobody would take that person serious for 1 second straight. But if a white person will walk up to the whatever authorities and be like, oh, I want to found Black Lives Matter in Germany, nobody is going to question that person, which is fucking white privilege, literally. you know so it's I don't understand. I mean, I think the founding, if money comes from white people towards a black organization that's
pretty much,
solely for black people, that should be fine. That's like paying kind of like reparations or acknowledgement money or whatever. But for them to
yeah,
actually have like a say and
yeah,
like a title, and you can't tell me that these non-black people don't get money from there. That's not possible.
I do, but I to be honest with you, I don't really. This is the thing. Like I really don't keep track on Black Lives Matters, because I have friends who are activists, and they have told me certain things about certain Black Lives Matter chapters. And
What does chapters mean? Like, I'm
chapters means like in each state, in each city. So a chapter mean that it's a different state. That's what it means.
oh, like a department.
No, different state. Like in the US, they have a different chapter in each state. They have their own chapter in that state. That's what it means.
Oh,
So,
okay, okay, okay.
so here in Canada, we have, I don't know, I think Vancouver and Toronto, and I don't know the rest. But I'm not associated with them because I don't like the way how they do things. So here's the thing. I have nothing against protesting, but I just rather go down to the building and make some noise. That's just me. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Also, I think white people have been gotten so comfortable with black people peacefully marching, and like okay, like when I look at it now, maybe my own 10 years ago would have been like, oh,
Hold on.
nice, you know.
Why do you say Black Lives Matters Toronto's a joke? I just want to know.
Toronto Black Lives Matter is a joke. Or maybe she can't specify. I don't know
Yes,
what she meant by that.
you gotta elaborate more. Sorry, what were you saying?
I Oh yeah, yeah. White people have gotten so used to the idea of black people like marching and peacefully asking for their lives to matter, which caters to the white fragility and like the kind of like let black people protest, but let us not give them too much rights so that they will not get like overboard. Like, how can we, like, when I look at the word matter, from my understanding as a non-native English speaker, I'm like, matter is literally like the bare minimum, right? Matter is something that, I mean, matter is something that is not valid. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't know. Is it like that? Matter, shouldn't it be? Matter is doesn't have an emphasization,
Mhm.
isn't it like that? I mean, to me, matter sounds like, okay, well, you matter, but not that much. I don't value you. You just matter to me. Kind of like. I don't know, the word matter to me is an underestimation of the actual truth that should be. Like we should be valuing, we should be honoring Black people the way we should be honoring anybody in general, but especially Black people, because they literally built the wall. So matter is like, let's give them a voice, but not too much voice. I don't know. That's just,
Everybody's gonna
you know.
interpret Black Lives Matters mean. She says, I just feel like we do absolute. Who is we? Because I'm seeing by your profile picture that you look like a white woman. So who is we? Are you talking about who is we? I mean, here's the thing, like I don't really keep tabs on Black Lives Matters Toronto. So this is a thing, like if you're saying they absolutely do nothing, have you actually looked okay, but have you actually looked up what they have done so far? What things that they have implemented, change in the systems, you know? I mean, I have a friend who has a nonprofit. It's Inclusive Canada, and they're doing a whole lot, especially in Winnipeg, Manitoba. That's what I know. So that's
I think that we should, especially no a non-Black person should be in a position to determine whether or not Black Lives Matter or any other
yeah.
organization
So
has even achieved anything, because they are not achieving it for us. So it is very likely that this is outside of our white bubble, that we don't even know what they achieve because it doesn't affect us, you
that's what
know?
I'm saying. Because, like, if you're saying Black Lives Matters Toronto has absolutely do nothing, the question I have for you as a white woman, what have you done to dismantle the system? What have you done? Have you sent emails to the counselor? Have you sent emails to the prime minister? Have you sent emails and letters to the police departments? Have you implemented any laws and changes? Have you actually start petitions to actually there was a petition to have body cams for police officers here in Canada, which I know because one of my
Oh,
friends.
you don't have that?
No, we don't have it. One of my friends who are Black, they set up a petition to have body cams. They're here in Canada. The police officers have no body cams. Period.
Wow. But in
Period.
Germany, I don't think we
And
have
not
body
to
cams either.
mention, they spend a whole heap of money on the police officers, but yeah, they can't allocate those funds into other funds. They spend a whole.
I I love how Canada is always seen as so liberal and so, I like that Canadians like to, white Canadians put themselves as kind of like, oh, we are so leftist,
They
we are
think
so
they're so.
liberal, but Canada is bloody fucking
Let me
racist
tell you something.
too.
Let me tell you something about Canada. First of all, these white Canadians, they're the same as their brothers and sisters on the U.S. border. Okay,
Everywhere globally.
you guys are from the same cloth. You think the same, you talk the same, you act the same. You just live in two different countries. They're literally asking people to show proof of vaccination everywhere they go. They're pressuring, especially in the Black communities, to get vaccinated because they have hesitation, which they have the right, you know? So that's what's happening. And also, there are businesses that are going to be affected by this, and people who have jobs who are going to be affected by this mandatory vaccination. Now, I I think we should have proof of vaccination in certain areas like concerts, indoor sporting events. But overall, I don't think you should force somebody to get vaccinated. I think they should get tested regularly, which
Yeah.
should be mandatory, sure, but testing should not be no, getting a vaccine should not be mandatory. Getting testing should be mandatory for them to get tested if they don't have the virus.
Oh,
So
do you know what Germany is doing right now?
what they
Oh,
do,
let me give you the tea. Germany said from the beginning of the pandemic, when the vaccinations were developed and when they were coming out and whatnot, they said, they made it clear. They said that there will not be any mandatory vaccinations by law. Now, to go around this, what Germany did was to enforce the 3G rule, which means tested, vaccinated, or recovered. So in German, the words, they all start with G, right? So now in 11th of October, all this while, all this month, ever since the pandemic started, tests have been free, absolutely free for Germans. Okay, you can go to any testing center, you'll be tested, and with that test is valid for 24 to 48 hours. You go wherever it's needed. Now, starting 11th of October, tests are going to be you have to pay. They're no longer free, right? €12.50 for one test. And they're enforcing the rule. The 3G rule now means if you're not vaccinated, you have to pay for the test yourself. Now tell me, if you're a family of 5 and all of them are above 12, that means if you want to go to a restaurant, you pay that €12.50 times 5 just to enter the restaurant. This is a literal mandatory vaccination to the back door. You know, it's literally saying, okay, we are not going to force you to get the vaccination, but if you don't want to get it, you pay even if you can afford it. That's literally forcing people to get vaccinated. You know, I mean, I'm all about the testing and the vaccinations and whatever, you know, but that's not the way, because there are people that have health issues, or maybe they are just insecure about the vaccination because maybe they had reactions to vaccinations in the past. They are now being forced, maybe if they can't afford regular testing, which is now no longer free, they have to get the vaccination, whether they want it or not, to not be socially excluded from literally everything other than grocery shopping. How in the world is that fair? It's not fair. And this affects especially minorities, of course.
Okay, so Chris Gunn. So, on behalf of the Black community, I don't accept apology. I only accept change behavior. So, I'm assuming that you are with a Black man, which you have stated before. So, I just want to let you know is that, like, any opinions that you have reflecting towards any Black movements, I suggest you to tread carefully and be careful what you say, and also do your research upon if any chapter or Black Lives Matters movement. The reason why I know this stuff because I know activists that has told me these stuff. That's why. Because
And also
I
because
got
you're Black, so you
you.
will know
So
if
yeah.
something
So
affects you or not.
let's just
But we don't.
let's just use Nicole as an example. If she knows any people that if she knows somebody in the that's why like you shouldn't say it's a joke. You should do your research. If you feel that they have not done nothing, then what do you know that they have done? What have they not done, and what have they done? That means you haven't really met with the founder of the chapter. That means you haven't have a meeting with them to see what they're actually doing. If you're with a person who is a person of color, especially a Black man, and you're dating them, this is something that you guys need to have a conversation if you want to actually dismantle the system that is so anti-Black against your partner. And I'm going to be really honest with you. Cannot pronounce your name. Listen here, most Black men in Canada are very fucking anti-Black, and they tend to lick their oppressor boots. So I just think that a lot of Black people in Canada are just very, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, they're very oblivious when it comes to racism. That's the word I'm looking for. Yes, Black people in Canada, a lot of Black people in Canada are very oblivious when it comes to racism. They don't even know when it hits them. And that's what I notice. And it's very sad because they think they're better than a lot of Black people, especially in the US. They said, oh, well, we don't go through that. That doesn't affect us. Those are the things that they say. And it's very disgusting. Yeah. So I just want to point that out.
But I think at the end of the day, like sometimes people be like, oh, racism, like in Germany, isn't as bad as it is in the US. But um,
I asked you, if I find,
me,
I was gonna ask you, what do you know
oh,
about Russia? Because
what do
somebody
I know about?
Russia.
Oh, okay.
I have to look this up, but apparently somebody told me that they're accepting of Black people living there.
What do you mean by that? I said how?
Like they're accepting, meaning that they accept Black people living there. Like they're not gonna trouble them. That they will let Black people live there. So I don't.
Well, my sister-in-law, she studied in Moscow. She's a medical doctor, and she made good and bad experiences. Like she made good experiences with, for example, her community there, like her students and whatever, because I think two of her four sons were very tender and they were born in Moscow. I'm not 100% sure. She's my husband's cousin's wife, so she's not directly my sister-in-law, but just to get things easier, right? So she was telling me good things about the community, but she told me that the society is fucking racist, that she was stared at, that she was like other, she was exoticized, she was like kind of, always looked at like she's so different and all that. And I love, by the way, how Northern Europeans and Eastern Europeans always want to talk themselves out of slavery, like, oh, we never enslaved anybody, we never invaded Africa. Okay, but y'all watched it happening. One, y'all watched it happening. Second, you can't tell me that Finland, Norway, Denmark, Russia, Poland, the Ukraine, you can't tell me that they didn't know that in 1884, Germany hosted the Berlin Conference, and literally the whole of Europe went to Germany to make sure who slices which part of Africa as their part of the cake. You can't tell me that they didn't know that. They quietly reap the benefits of whiteness, but they absolutely want to have nothing to do with slavery altogether, even though they are eating from the cake, even up till today. Like, it's literally disgusting. I don't even know which one is worse. I don't even know if it's the people from actually colonizers, the descendants of those that be like, oh, that's been years, I never enslaved anybody, or if it's those that literally sat there, watched the whole thing happen. Because if you look at how gigantic Eastern Europe and Northern Europe combined is, and what they could have done to prevent slavery from happening, but they decided not to because they knew the benefits involved, I don't know which one is worse, actually. I don't absolutely know.
Yeah.
But how did you get to Russia? Like, anywhere where it's whitely dominated,
well,
is always racism.
somebody read something online, and they said how a lot of black people are moving to Russia, which I find puzzling. So that's why I wouldn't live there, in my opinion. So I'm gonna stay where I am.
Do you know, the funny thing is that in Germany we have that association with Russia, or even the whole Eastern Europe. They are poor. They are less educated. Like, we have terrible stereotypes about Eastern Europeans. And if you look at the work Eastern Europeans are doing here, it's work that many Germans don't want to do because they are too good, to do certain work. You see a lot of, like, during summer when asparagus grows in Germany, or strawberries, on God, you will not see majority of Germans on the fields digging out that asparagus from the ground. You see Eastern Europeans doing that. So during the pandemic, when we had problems with migration, when we had problems with the borders, because in Europe, the whole borders are open. You can literally walk in and out of Europe however you please. We had a problem that there were no workers to bring out the asparagus and the strawberries, and the prices were insane. And this summer it was like so much less because there were no workers to do it, because Germans don't want to do that kind of work. So we have terrible stereotypes compared to anybody we have stereotypes about Italians, Spanish people, literally anybody that's not white and German. So Germans are so soaked with stereotypes and a form of discrimination that's become so normal in our society that we literally, okay, to give you an example, we have there's a sauce, like, it's a sauce that we eat with meat. Okay, Germans are very known for their schnitzel, which is literally meat that's been kind of like put in egg and then in breadcrumbs, and then it's been fried right in the pan, and then they put a sauce on it which contains onions and paprika and whatever. And so we use a slur that is like slightly comparable to the N words that we've been using iron to burn it into people's skin during that time, Sinti and Roma people. And that slur is the name for that particular sauce. And do you know that Germans have been fighting for the last 5 to 10 years to keep that word alive, because it's always been like this, and we have no negative connotation with that word, totally ignoring the fact that this is a literal racial slur that people died for and died under. Same with the N-word, by the way. So the whole discrimination and stereotypes that run so deep in the society of white people, no matter if it's America, Canada, Germany, anywhere the country is whitely dominated, it's insane. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I need to drink something. All this talking. You've become so quiet suddenly.
Oh, I was reading the comments. She's saying that what's her name, Croissant, I shouldn't have interrupted. I mean, here's the thing, like if you're gonna speak on something, you gotta know it. So if you're speaking on Black Lives Matters, you gotta know everything before you say anything.
Yeah.
You know? Can't just say that, a certain move they have done some. It's just that like the question is why do you think a lot has not been done? Why do you think a lot has not been like,
And why do you as a white person think you're in the rightful position
her man
to
is black.
judge whether or not, yeah.
Her man is black. I'm reading the comments. She says that I have women who has fetishized my relationship. No, they're fetishizing your boyfriend, not you. Not your relationship. There's a difference, sweetie.
Habibti, as a white person, you know everything. Where on God's green earth did I say I know everything? Why do people pull this kind of nonsense out of their asses? I never said I know everything. It's always, always white people that get offended about being called out, or when they see themselves in those situations you're talking about, or when they see themselves in the positions you are ranting about, then they'll be like, oh, so you know everything. Oh, so you have never made a mistake. I make mistakes every blessed day because I'm white and I was raised to make racially insensitive mistakes. But as far as I'm concerned, I haven't like been in my feelings for being called out on that. So I don't know why, and I don't even know who you are that came up here as a white person. You know everything. Okay, I mean, well, cheers.
I mean, and that's what I'm saying because, like, I know I have friends who are mixed who, come from a product of an interracial relationship. Some are good and some are bad, So, I have I think I have a few friends that their fathers went in real life for whatever reasons, but like every relationship is going to be different. But that woman that you showed in the beginning, there are so many white women like her on TikTok who are literally antagonizing Black women. It's like we live rent free in your mind. And that's what I'm saying. Like, do you honestly think Black women are worried about Black men? They're really not. I'm really not. Like, I be going out and I be seeing a non-Black woman with a Black man. They be looking at me like, is she gonna? No, I'm really not gonna say anything because I really don't care. And I just think that I just think that it's just a false narrative that cisgender Black men have been pushing. And then, white women are eating it up, saying that, oh, Black women are mad, they're jealous. And then you have, certain white women, especially on TikTok, saying that there was this video where this white woman, you probably seen her, she something she was talking about, the prison relationships between white women and Black men. And she says that Black women, obvious you're not doing your job because black men are coming to us. I'm like, yeah, they're coming to you because we don't want them because they're in prison. You're right. You're so right.
And you see, again, she's targeting Black women. She's not doing this
and
because she thinks that she's so desirable.
The fact that you literally boast about jailbird relationships, she says something like 90-something% relationships, interracial relationships or prison relationships with white women and Black men. Yeah, because you take care of them. You send them money. I don't know, their sugar mama, their transaction. That's not a relationship. That's a business transaction.
That's like being an employee to somebody.
Pretty much, you're taking care of them, and not to mention, like, that's not really a relationship if you think about it. I mean, if if you really think that I'm going to be with somebody, it depends, because like every relationship is different. But as I say this again, when it comes, as Crave Crystal has said, you could never steal black men from me. You took our troubles. We don't want them. Like this one
And
here, like
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I also don't want to agree with you because it's not. However, what I want to say is, I find it like kind of. I read that a lot, that people be like, oh, black men are at fault for white women behaving like this, and I feel that it is literally taking away the capability and the ability of a white person to think for themselves, because the fuck yes, they know that they are wrong.
they
They're
are.
just catering this, like I mean, if a black person like you now, if you want to call out a black man for doing whatever with his white partner, that's fine. That's between you guys. That's within the black community. But when I see these white people and then they're like, oh, but her black partner is okay with it. Okay, but that doesn't make it right. That does not fucking make it right. Did you see that white girl with her big ass dreadlocks that gave the husband a teddy bear? And then he looked up and he was like, wait a minute, why am I picking cotton for a white person? So you mean to tell me that white person couldn't have thought for themselves and be like, baby, I'm not going to do this joke. It's racially insensitive. It might be okay between you and me. We can make this joke together as an inside joke. Even that one is disgusting. But please, do you, boo? But why put it on the internet? It's wrong. Once you're white, this is wrong. There shouldn't be a joke about slavery, no matter the dynamics, if it is between a non-black person and whoever. When a non-black person is involved, even if the black person is cool with it, because you never know the dynamics between that.
Somebody says when Nicki Minaj said jealousy is jealousy, that's how you feel. Okay.
Yeah, right. She was when that song, the Black Barbie song, when Nicki Minaj, and I love how white people cropped only that part where she sang, "I'm a fucking Black Barbie," and they didn't take the song "New Things" for them to imitate, and then she sang about the Black Barbie. Like, why did y'all take only this part? Because y'all know.
Okay, so BT underscore 70 says, right, there are plenty of white women who are with black men, not in prison. They are with successful black men.
And who asked? What's the point?
Okay, so what's your point? Because I'm basing on the video of what I saw on TikTok of her percentage. When you say successful black men, the question is, who actually got those black men to be successful where they're at? Black women. So before black men were successful, who was by their side when
And
they
who
were
raised them?
grinding and hustling? Black women. And as soon as a black man gets the deal, he drops the black woman and he goes with the trophy wife, which is a white woman. So let's just keep it real. A lot of white women would not be with a black man who's a bum. Like, for real, you wouldn't. So I just...
Whoa, do you see the timer? It says 1.50 seconds remaining.
Which means that's how much left you have on the live. I don't see the timer.
Why?
Yeah.
Why is that?
They only
Wait,
time
what?
They only time me for 1 hour, so you better save it.
They'd be like, no, you shut the fuck up. After 1 hour, it's over. When did that become a thing?
It's been like that since time, but I never seen the timer. They would just cut me off like that.
Wow. Okay. Well, I guess we have to end it here and there then. But we have a minute remaining, so why don't you throw us off that 1 minute before we
I mean, as I say this again, when it comes to like that person who made that comment, I'm just gonna keep it real. As again, black women are the Eve gene, and we're the manifestation of God. And I just feel that people need to stop pushing this false narrative. And I'm just going to be really honest. I don't know who this person is. Your comment is very anti-black, because you're just basically saying that a black man who's successful cannot be with a black woman, or that if they are are successful that they only have to be with a white woman. That's an anti-black statement.
Also, the statistics in America are literally clear. For those of you that want to check it, Chaka wrote about this a few days ago. He posted a meme that the percentage of black men marrying black and staying black in their black marriage is literally around 86% or something like that. So most black men actually are with black women and stay with black women. So why are we only seeing interracial relationships all over the place? It's because of the narrative of white supremacy. And we are done. We have only 4 seconds.
You didn't
Thank
say
you
that
so
at
much
all.
for joining me.
You may want to read